Hey guys, Carrick here with another review. This time I'll be doing the deluxe Kiwami lock seed from Kamen Rider Gaim. This is a special lock seed that serves as Kamen Rider Gaim's final power-up. So this includes two things, the Kiwami lock seed and a new part called the Senyo joint. So let's take a look. For starters, the reason why I've started with these two attached is because the Kiwami lock seed cannot stand up on its own. Even though it has this rather round base, it has this part that's sticking out on a spring. And because of that, it does not bounce upright and instead falls over. It also can't bounce on either side because it's weighted forward. So besides displaying it on its back, the only way to really display it is by attaching it to the joint. But let's take a look at the Kiwami lock seed itself. So, being the final lock seed and the most powerful one, this is Alice Infinity. And what makes this unique is that it's not based on any one fruit. Instead, you have 7 fruits on front, these being the fruits for the first 7 lock seeds released. You've got an orange, banana, grapes, melon, pineapple, strawberry, and watermelon. All on this nice gold base. And if you take a look at each one, they are basically designed after their respective lock seeds. You also get this new hanger part here, which is actually interesting because it doesn't pop up. Instead, you have this part that goes on this rotating spring joint, and then this, which actually slides down and up. What makes this unique is that its primary function is not as a lock, but instead as a key. As you just saw, this button here pops out a key from the bottom. And this is what serves to unlock the hidden feature in the Kachidoki lock seed. Although in the back you do see that it has the same back design as the other lock seeds, meaning it can fit into any of the ports that fit normal lock seeds. We additionally have the Senyo joint, which means personal use joint. And it's called that because only Gaim can use it. Now taking a look at it, what you'll see is that it uses a faceplate as a base, but to really signify that it is meant for Gaim, you can't actually swap the parts with a regular faceplate. If we compare this with a faceplate, you can see that the designs don't quite match up. In fact, the back plate here is actually too thick to actually fit in here, which has this slope and ridge and is actually thinner. So there's no way to change the sounds here unless you were to add the pins to the back. By taking a look, you can see a few different notches and some slopes, as well as an arrow to just to show which way to put in the Kiwami lock seed. So, for lights and sounds, let's get started by turning it on and looking at sounds on its own. While it didn't show up that much from the front, if I take a look from the side, you can see that a white light glows on the startup. And so of course, to start, we have the button on the back. But instead of making invest battle sounds, this one has character phrases. And these phrases are from Koda Kazuraba, the main character who turns into Kamen Rider Gaim. Now, while the first 4 sounds are the same, the 5th sound alternates. This also has 2 hidden phrases. And you notice that for the coda phrases it has an orange light, but once I get to the secret phrases you'll see that it has a white light. So that's one of the two hidden phrases, and that's from a currently unnamed character known only as the Mysterious Girl. And her phrases come at random. So there's the second phrase. Additionally, if we press the button on the side and pop out the key, instead of saying its name, it says fruit basket. And that's because unlike the other lock seeds where it summons a single fruit armor, this one summons all the main fruit armors for each rider. So, get into the main functions. We'll need the Sengoku driver and the Kachidoki lock seed. So the first thing to do is to transform into Kachidoki arms. Just like so. You'll have to turn it on first. Next, detach the faceplate and replace it with the Senyo joint. And you want to do this after you've done the transformation because this part will actually go into here and only fits in if this is already attached. So just like that. Then pop out the key part for the Kiwami lock seed. Looking at it from the side, you'll see it has a rainbow light when you do that. Then pop it in here. This will start a standby noise. And so when you're ready, flip the key forward. And so with an alternating pattern between the two, Gaim now transforms into Kiwami arms. And so, taking a look at the inside, we have a lot to see here. For the top, we have 16 different fruit slices, representing the various arms. On the side that's inside Kachidoki, we have orange, pine, Ichio, Suika, melon energy, lemon energy, peach energy, and cherry energy. Then on the side inside Kiwami, we have Kachidoki, banana, Budo, mango, kiwi, Dongri, Matsubokuri, Kurumi, and durian. Then on the bottom, we have two pseudo faceplates, one for Kachidoki arms and one for Kiwami arms. And so with this new form, we have new functions, and we have two sets of functions: one inside the Kiwami lock seed and one inside the Kachidoki lock seed. So we'll start with Kiwami's functions, that being that it can summon any arm's weapon, and so it has a set cycle of 16 sounds. So going through them all one by one. And after that, it cycles back to the Maru. Now what you'll notice is that with the inside of the Kakidoki Luck Seed, it has just one single LED color, but with this, it has a multicolor LED. And what's interesting is that because the light is so bright, in person you can actually see how it works. I may not be able to show it, but I can at least get a close-up. So yeah, while you can't see on camera, what happens with this light is that it's actually a multicolor LED, having 3 smaller LEDs inside it, one red, one blue, and one green. And what it does is uses different combinations and basically brightness levels of the different LEDs to create these different colors. It also uses different colors. As for the Melon Defender, it uses just the green LED, but for something like the Kiwami, it uses a lighter color of green, used with a combination of the red and green lights. And it's actually quite fascinating, and as I've shown, you don't have to do these one by one just slowly. You can skip through them. And so then, for Kakidoki's side, we have the basic Squash, Ole, and Sparking attacks. Now the way the functions work here with the Senyo joint is different from how a normal lock seed would function. The way this works is when placing it into the Senyo joint, it hits this button here that starts the standby phase. Then when it's swung down, this part here opens up the lock seed, and this notch in here hits this button, which activates the transformation sound. Although for this, resetting the process does take a little bit longer than with most, because after this is swung down once with the transformation Kakidoki activated, it then defaults to doing the Kiwami, Squash, Ole, and Sparking, or just doing the basic sounds for the arms weapon summoning. So to reset, you have to literally do the Kakidoki transformation again, and then do Kiwami. Just like that. Now, of course, this has other functions besides just these. So those, we'll detach it from here and set the Sengoku driver aside for just a moment. First, we have its weapon functionality. And so to start that, I'll be using the Hinama Daidai DJ Ju. So, as said earlier, to do the functions with other lock seed items, you have to slide down this port, rather this lever here, Attach it onto the port. Then slide this up, as I will demonstrate here. I'll reset that. So using the Kiwami lock seed or any other lock seed besides Kachidoki creates a different standby sound and different special attack than the Kachidoki lock seed does. And of course, you can also do Kiwami power as well. And of course, we can also do this function with Tycoon Mode. So bring in the Muso Saber. You can combine together and then do this again. Now, because the functions for activating the sounds work off of this rather than this, in order to reset the Kiwami lock seed, you have to adjust the key part. Just like so. And then you can do the functions again. So for the Tycoon mode, it does the same counting, but ends with fruit basket. So then when you're done, you can detach this, just by sliding it off, as you would any other lock seed. What's unique though, is that this can actually attach to the Muso Saber while the two are combined, because it has this part right here. So for example, if I bring in Kachidoki, I can set that on here, then lift up this and set it on here, and use the two in tandem. And you can also activate their power attacks simultaneously. And also I'll just give you a demonstration of what the lights look like when doing the charge attack. And so then you can detach these. and show Kiwami's other functions. Having this port, it can also function with the Sengu driver in the normal port. Just like this. While it does see Kiwami arms, it just has the startup sound for the Kiwami lock seed instead of the full phrasing. But you can still do 3 special attacks. And these are actually different from the special attacks used from the Kachidoki side. And so this can also be used in a combination with the Genesis core. Although because of the thickness, it's not recommended that you use Kachidoki for this. Instead, I'll use orange. And then you can detach it. Also note is that because of the way this functions, you can activate the armed weapon summoning sounds with just the Kiwami lock seed and the Senyo joint. You don't even need to use it in conjunction with the Sengo driver and Kachidoki lock seed. And then when you're done, you can put the two together and display it. So overall, the Kiwami lock seed is extremely versatile. Not only does it have the power to unlock the hidden functions in the Kachidoki lock seed, as well as have a variety of sounds within itself and a multicolored LED. It also has sound functionality with the regular Sengoku driver, the Genesis core, and the lock seed compatible weapons. So on the whole, this is a great item to have because it has a lot just within it and in its functionality with other items. Now there are two ways to get this. The first is to get it on its own, or you just get the Kiwami lock seed and the Senyo joint. But for people who don't have the Kachidoki lock seed yet, it is also released in a set with this, so it includes these two plus Kachidoki. And I definitely recommend you either do one of those two options. Either get this if you already have Kachidoki, or if you don't, get the set. because while you can get the arms weapon summoning noises out of it on its own, you don't have the complete transformation sound unless you have both of these. And you can't get the complete transformation sound just using it with a normal Lockseed port. But if you can get your hands on both this and Kachijoki either on their own or separately, it definitely makes for a lot of fun. And it makes for even more fun if you have the other items. And just on the whole, this makes a great final Lockseed for Gaim. And one of my favorite final form items, I'd have to say. Overall, this is definitely recommended. So, thanks for watching. Please rate, comment, subscribe, and check out my channel for more videos. And for now, this is KRX50, riding off.